Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, September 8th, around 8 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. A large plasma filament lifted off the sun today, creating a large coronal mass ejection headed towards Earth. Impact expected on Tuesday. More coming up. We're also waiting for the fourth named storm of the Atlantic season. Tropical storm Francine is now developing in the Gulf of Mexico. Intensity models show it could strengthen to a strong Cat 1 before it makes landfall on Texas in the coming days. Keep calm. It's boom time. Interesting developments in the Georgia shooting story. The mother of the Georgia shooter suspect called the school 30 minutes before the mass shooting to warn them, and nothing was done. So that's quite interesting. Also, yesterday we reported on a mass shooting in Laurel County, Kentucky, and the suspect has been named Joseph Couch. He is still on the loose. They found his car by the woods, and he is in a very remote area of Laurel County, hiding out in the woods. They still haven't found him. Residents flee as California and Nevada wildfires get dangerously close, and forecasters warn of record heat. In fact, the Southern California wildfires are burning so intensely, it's creating its own weather as it spreads, forcing evacuations. The line fire, which began less than 48 hours ago in San Bernardino County, has burned more than 7,100 acres, up from 4,000 acres a few hours ago. 5,000 homes have been affected by the evacuation order in the Running Springs and Arrow Bear Lakes areas. The San Bernardino Sheriff's Department told CNN hundreds more have been evacuated in the city of Highland. A quick look over at the fire and smoke map shows that most of the smoke and most of the fires are up in the Pacific Northwest here. And there is a small cluster down in Southern Cali there, forming this smoke plume right here. Pretty low-level smoke for what we've seen all season. And in just a period of a few months, most of these fires will be extinguished. The Sunday Tropic Update, the National Hurricane Center begins issuing advisories on soon-to-be Tropical Storm Francine. Could form later tonight or by tomorrow morning. Here is the track of potential Tropical Cyclone 6, which would be Tropical Storm Francine. And I'll bring you over here, and we can see that the maximum sustained winds at Advisory 1A is 50 miles per hour, just a matter of time as this moves north until it becomes a named tropical depression. The spaghetti models are in, and they're all clustering here on East Texas or West Louisiana for landfall, and that's going to be in 72 hours, folks. So about 2.5 days from now, we should be looking Tuesday night into Wednesday morning landfall of this developing tropical storm. Stay tuned for more updates as the storm develops. Dangerous heat continues across the southwest U.S. and fire weather conditions across the Great Basin. Dangerous heat will continue across the southwest U.S. and Southern California into early next week. Excessive heat warnings and heat advisories remain in effect. Gusty winds and dry conditions may lead to elevated to near critical fire weather conditions along the Great Basin and northern Sierra. Air quality alerts remain in effect into Monday for large parts of Oregon, Idaho, and Wyoming. And that becomes ever clearer here on the smoke map. Here, we'll take a quick look over at the GFS model, and you can see that developing tropical system in the south of the map there. As a matter of the next few days, going to be moving up the western Gulf Coast and make landfall here on the GFS model on Louisiana. The eye of the storm will hit Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday night and Thursday morning here, which is actually going to be Wednesday afternoon because this is UTC. So there's that first system that moves inland. It's going to bring flooding rains regardless of how strong it gets or what it does to the central U.S. right here through the end of next week. And then we could see another hurricane here looping around and not getting involved anymore. So that's the forecast. You can also see some blue showing up on the models, and that means snow. Ho, 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 early for the season. Let's take a look at total accumulated snowfall. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. There is the snow on the models. So winter is right around the corner, folks. Seismic update. No quakes of note. Low-level activity worldwide. Biggest quake in the U.S., a 3.4 in Thatcher, Utah. Who knew? Now you do. Worldwide volcano news. For the 8th of September, Nevado de Ruiz, 19,000-foot Sabancaya puffing and passing. Semedu on the list today. White Island to 3,000 feet, continuing with its uptick. Ibu to 7,000 feet. Shivalush, 7,000-foot puff. Sangay to 19,000-foot. Liwatobi to 10,000. Fuego, puffing and passing. Ibu to 9,000 foot today. Swanosima, another puff and a pass. Sangay to 19,000. Sabancaya to 24,000 feet. Liwatobi to 10. Semeru, also on the list. White Island to 3,000. Semeru to 14,000. Shivalush. How high is that? 7,000 foot puff from good old Kamchatka Peninsula. Ebeko puffing and passing to 7,000. Abiko to 9,000. And that wraps up worldwide volcano news for the 8th. As we take a look over at space weather for today, you can see that small little M flare there. That might be corresponding to this plasma filament that released earlier today at 1 UTC. Actually, we can go check that. And so that is definitely not that. The plasma filament released sometime right here. So that is actually a flare. But the detailed forecast, 3-day geomagnetic forecast showing G2 geomagnetic storm for the end of September 10th. So could be good aurora watching Tuesday night. KP has been below 3 for the last 3 days, all quiet on the geomagnetic storm front until Tuesday. And we do have a video of that plasma filament lifting right there. You can see it. I'll blow that up. For your viewing pleasure, not a very significant filament by any stretch of the word. So I can't see this getting to G2 geomagnetic storm unless we have a direct component coming at us. And most of the ejecta on LASCO C2 here, we can clearly see is going north. Nothing over here. And you can see that northerly plasma filament blast. Nothing down here. So a glancing blow, if any. Here is the WSA Enlil spiral, solar wind prediction. And you can see that we kind of hit a hole there and almost don't get anything as far as the top picture is concerned. So we'll see if we do have a rapid spike in geomagnetic activity. Could be a quick 3-hour storm up to G2. Certainly not a lasting storm by any stretch. In a stunning discovery, paleontologists find a 75 million year old sauropod dinosaur in Spain. And it's gigantic. Look at 18 foot tall. That is one big dino. And take a look at some of the bones there. Those are teeth, folks. This sauropod was eating plants, the equivalent of today's cows, let's say, but in the form of a dinosaur. Spectacular find in Spain. It's insane. A mother and daughter duo find a 220 million year old dinosaur footprint. And it's actually a real one, not a carved one. Like we described in our radio show yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go over to Magnetic Reversal News. Did humans walk with dinosaurs? Well, apparently there is a fraud afoot. And in this case, not a fraud. Tegan Jones and her mother, Claire, discovered a unique dinosaur footprint in Wales. These tracks are unlike any previously documented in the area and may belong to a Cameliotia dinosaur. Anyway. That's a real one. These are fake ones. Lee and I will be at the 35th Annual Crestone Energy Fair all weekend, coming up September 14th and 15th. Rooting forward is the theme, and we will be holding seed-saving permaculture workshop Saturday and Sunday at noon at the event at our tent. So go get it. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned, and we need your courage by sharing this video to help grow the channel. You can also become a Patreon. For a small monthly pledge of as little as $1 a month, you can watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free, and it really helps with our bottom line. We love each and every one of you, and we'll see you all in Crestone. Be safe.